if Trump makes nice with RFK and brings him into his cabinet or brings him into his government, there are places where this could be an unmitigated disaster because RFK really is a dyed-in-the-wool leftist. Welcome to Clown World once again. As I said before, I think the gift that keeps on giving. One of the things about cliches or truisms is that they are frequently true. And one such cliche is that politics makes for strange bedfellows. We've seen a gaudy display of this in the last week where RFK has suspended his campaign. RFK Jr. has suspended his campaign, is pulling out of certain battleground states and is remaining on the ballot in other states and has endorsed Trump or thrown his support to Trump. Now, in the run-up to this, online, Trump had called RFK a leftist lunatic, I think, and RFK had, for his part, had said that he thought that Trump was a sociopath. So there was that. This is what I mean by strange bedfellows. But apparently there was somebody who was advising both campaigns, a gentleman who was advising both campaigns, and he contacted RFK after the assassination attempt and asked if he'd be willing to talk to Trump. He was willing, and they had a conversation and hit it off. In this endorsement, in this support, there's been great clarity that there's all sorts of areas where they differ radically, but there were three main areas where they had enough commonality to be able to work together. They were things like public health, particularly for children, and COVID and lockdown sorts of issues. The Ukraine war was the second one. And the third one was censorship, deep state, dirty politics. Those are the three areas where these two men have a lot in common. The Democratic Party playing dirty against both of them, lawfare against Trump, and all kinds of manipulations and dishonest dealing against RFK in excluding him from running in primaries challenging President Biden. What are we to make of this? Well, if Trump makes nice with RFK and brings him into his cabinet or brings him into his government, there are places where this could be an unmitigated disaster because RFK really is a dyed-in-the-wool leftist. And there are places, if you made him Secretary of Education, for example, that'd be a disaster. But Trump has teased online the prospect of making RFK Jr. the director of the CIA, which would be sort of a early Christmas present for a bunch of us. And then when Trump was introducing RFK at that big Arizona rally, Trump committed to declassifying everything having to do with the assassination of JFK, RFK's uncle. And it's about time, even though all the principals are not yet dead. There are some people still alive. Trump said, "I'm going to declassify everything," and I think people will discover some things about their government that they did not want to know. There are some areas where RFK coming into partnership with Trump is going to be an improvement of what of Trump's outlook, because what RFK is bringing to the table is bringing in the FDA and the CDC and the health establishment, roping that into the deep state, because that was the principal area in his first administration where Trump got rolled. When the COVID pandemic scare began, Trump tried to get ahead of it. If they're going to run you out of town, get out in front and try to make it look like a parade. He was going to develop the very best vaccine, the fastest vaccine, and so on. I think that RFK is going to bring some sobriety on that front to Trump. They share in common a distaste for how the Ukraine war has been used, and want to bring an end to it. And that really needs to happen without taking sides or showing any kind of favoritism to Putin or saying that he's a good guy, but it's important to bring that war to a close. Let's just say that this is a potentially very happy development, and it could also be a very, very sad development.